They told you to meditate. They told you to pray. They told you to affirm, visualize, journal, hustle, believe, and wait. But what if the power you've been seeking isn't found in any of that? Because what I'm about to reveal isn't a technique you've heard 1,000 times before. It's not about sitting in silence. It's not about begging the universe or hoping God will remember your dreams. It's something so simple, yet so overlooked. And once you learn how to use it, your entire reality begins to shift. This is SATS. SATS stands for state akin to sleep. It's the moment between wakefulness and dreaming, a twilight zone of consciousness. And within this sacred window lies the doorway to your deepest manifestations. It's not about repeating mantras. It's not about positive vibes or staying in a good mood 24/7. No, SATS is different. It's precise. It's powerful. And once you learn how to wield it, it changes everything. But before I explain how to activate it, let me ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but life still doesn't change? You try affirmations, you script, you listen to subliminals, but the money doesn't come, the person doesn't text back, the healing doesn't happen. That's not your fault, because you weren't given the key access point. You were taught the tools, but not how to access the control panel behind them. That control panel is the subconscious mind. And the most direct, undiluted access to it is SATS. If this is resonating with you, if you've ever felt there's more out there waiting for you, if you're ready to tap into something ancient yet advanced, then don't scroll away. Join thousands of awakened creators who are finally using SATS to manifest the life they used to only dream about. Sign up right now to receive my exclusive SATS activation guide, a simple walkthrough that shows you step by step how to tap into this hidden state. It's 100% free because I believe this information was never meant to be kept secret. And while you're here, hit that share button, not just because it helps the channel, but because someone you know desperately needs this message. Someone who's struggling right now. Someone who's praying for a sign. You might be that sign. Now, let me show you why SATS is unlike anything you've ever tried before. This is not about forcing. It's not about chasing. It's about assuming, gently, powerfully, the reality you want, as if it has already happened, and doing it in a mental state so potent, your subconscious accepts it as true. Neville Goddard, the brilliant mystic behind this concept, called it the secret of secrets. You see, when your body is relaxed and your conscious mind begins to dissolve, the gatekeeper to your subconscious lowers its guard. And in that sacred moment, whatever you place in your imagination, with feeling, gets planted like a seed. And the universe? It begins rearranging everything to match that seed. Imagine this. You're laying in bed. You're neither fully awake nor quite asleep. In this soft, hazy space, you feel your desired life. Not just see it, you become it. You're holding that check. You're looking into their eyes. You're walking through your dream home. And your brain, your subconscious, doesn't know it's not real. Because in SATS, it is real. And once your subconscious accepts it, reality follows. And that's why SATS is so powerful. Because in those moments, you become the person who already has it. Not someday. Not if the universe allows it. But now. I know what you're probably wondering. How do I enter this state? How do I know I'm doing it right? What do I imagine exactly? How long should it take? Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through all of that, step by step. But first, I want you to understand just how undeniably real this is. These aren't fairy tales. These are stories from people who used SATS correctly to get out of crushing debt, heal relationships, land dream jobs, restore their health, experience peace. They never thought possible. They didn't chant all day. They didn't visualize for hours. They just imagined one scene, one moment, with emotion, right before sleep. That's it. And everything changed. And now it's your turn. In a moment, I'll guide you through how to create your SATS scene, how to make it so real, so vivid, so emotionally alive that your subconscious has no choice but to accept it. But before we go any deeper, I want you to do something bold. If you're feeling even a flicker of curiosity, of recognition, of "this feels right," click the link below to unlock your SATS guide. Subscribe so you don't miss the full SATS walkthrough coming in the next video. Share this with someone who needs to take back their power tonight. Because tonight might be the night your whole reality shifts. In Part 2, we'll uncover the exact technique Neville used, the emotional trigger that locks in the SATS imprint, and the 3 fatal mistakes that stop most people from seeing results. But for now, just remember this. Your power was never outside of you. It wasn't in a book. It wasn't in a ritual. It was in that quiet space, right before you drift off to sleep. And if you learn to master that space, you can reshape your entire life. Let's go deeper, because SATS is more than just visualizing, more than wishful thinking. It's a craft, a skill, a sacred art that you refine. And when you do, the results can seem almost supernatural. But there's one rule you need to understand before we go any further. You don't imagine to make it happen. You imagine because it's already true. This is where most people miss the mark. They visualize with a sense of lack, hoping it will someday come. But the subconscious doesn't respond to someday. It responds to now. In SATS, we don't wish, we become. Let me show you the structure. Imagine this like a movie scene. But the twist is, you're not watching it. You're in it. You don't see yourself on a screen receiving the keys to your dream home. You feel the weight of the keys in your palm. You feel the cold metal of the doorknob. You smell the fresh paint. You hear your footsteps echo through the hallway. You become the person who already lives there. The scene must be short, vivid, and repeatable, like a 5-second loop that you can enter every night just as you begin to drift off. It's not a fantasy. It's a memory of the future. Now here's what you'll need to craft your own SATS scene. Clarity of desire. What is the one thing you want to manifest now? Not 10 things. Not a vague idea. Get specific. End scene. Imagine what would imply the wish is already fulfilled. Not the process, not the steps, just the end. Sensory details. What are you seeing? Hearing? Touching? Smelling? Ground your scene in the physicality of the moment. Emotion. This is the key. It's not about saying, "I have it." It's about feeling the joy, the gratitude, the certainty of already having it. Remember, the subconscious doesn't understand the difference between real and vividly imagined. It only knows how it feels. Here's what not to do. Don't visualize a long story. Don't get caught in trying to make it perfect. Don't include how it happened or worry about the logic. That's conscious mind stuff. And SATS is beyond the conscious. Your job is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and rest in it as you fall asleep. It might feel awkward at first. It might feel fake. But keep going. Because repetition reprograms reality. Now here's something Neville said that you need to let sink deep into your heart. Dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist in that assumption, and it will harden into fact. Not maybe. Not if you're lucky. Not if the stars align. It will harden into fact. This is not motivational fluff. This is how your subconscious, and by extension, your life is designed to function. You're not waiting for the world to confirm your dream. You're confirming it within and letting the world adjust to you. Because here's the truth most people never hear. The outer world is an echo. It doesn't act first. It reacts to the inner state you carry with you. Change the inner state, and you change the echo. SATS is how you do that. Now, let's address something that often gets overlooked. You don't need to believe in SATS for it to work. You don't have to feel spiritual or mystical or even totally confident. All you need is a willingness to test it. And if you test it faithfully, even skeptically, you'll find it works. Not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to it. In that half-asleep moment, where your mind begins to blur and your body begins to rest, you plant a single scene. You loop it with feeling. You become the version of you who already has it. And then you drift off. Let it go. No forcing. No checking. No obsessing. The seed has been planted. Now it's time to let it grow. And what happens next? That's when the magic begins. You'll wake up one morning and feel different, more certain, more anchored. The outer world might not have shifted yet, but you will know something has clicked. That shift inside you will start creating visible ripples. People start responding differently. Emails show up unexpectedly. Opportunities arise where there were none. And you'll realize this isn't a coincidence. It's SATS. It's your inner movie becoming your outer world. So tonight, I want to invite you, challenge you, to try this for yourself. Even just once. Choose your scene. Climb into bed. Close your eyes. And enter it, as if it's already true. Feel it. Smile in it. Sink into the version of you that already has what you've been chasing. And then, let go. Drift into sleep as if nothing is missing, as if it's done, because it is. In the next section, we'll go even deeper. I'll walk you through real-life SATS scenes that have led to dramatic results: love reunited, debts erased, diseases healed. I'll also give you the most effective SATS audio scripting structure you can follow every night. No guesswork, no confusion. But before we do, go now and claim your free SATS activation guide. It's packed with everything we've talked about and more, plus a nightly checklist you can follow starting tonight. The link is right below this video. Don't wait. This moment might just be the bridge to your new life. And if you haven't already, tap subscribe, because the next part will show you how to go from knowing SATS to living it. Because the people who truly master this, they don't hope anymore. They know. And soon, so will you. So, how do you actually begin? How do you take this mystical, ancient concept and make it part of your everyday life? The answer is simpler than you think, and far more powerful than you've been told. Let's walk through the SATS blueprint. Think of this as your nightly ritual, but instead of candles and chants and 30-minute meditations, this is something soft, subtle, sacred. It begins with stillness. You don't need to force your body to be perfectly still, but you do need to relax. Let the muscles loosen. Let your breathing slow. Turn off the noise. Let the day dissolve. You're not escaping. You're returning to you. Step 1. Choose one scene, not 5 goals, not a vision board. 1. Specific. Scene. This is the moment that implies, beyond a doubt, that your desire is fulfilled. If you want love, maybe the scene is you hearing them say, "I love you." If you want wealth, maybe it's you opening your bank app and seeing the number. If you want health, Maybe it's your doctor saying, "Your results are perfect." Make it short, like a GIF. A loop. Because the goal here isn't to build a story, it's to create an imprint. Step 2. Feel it real. This is where everything changes. Don't imagine as a spectator. You're not watching yourself win. You are the one winning. Feel the warmth of the moment, the smile tugging at your lips, the flutter in your chest, the sense of, yes, this is mine. It may feel unnatural at first. Your logical mind will try to interrupt. Ignore it. Let the scene roll, again and again, until it feels inevitable. And here's the key that most people overlook. Step 3. Drift into sleep. While in the scene. This is where SATS becomes a bridge. As you replay the scene, gently and slowly, you'll start to slip from awareness into sleep. This is the golden moment. The gatekeeper of your subconscious, the critical factor that filters and blocks change, begins to shut down. And your new imagined reality slips past it, straight into the soil of your unconscious. This is how the world begins to shift, without effort. Because you're not trying to change reality anymore. You're changing the seed of reality and letting the outer reflect the inner. Now, let's talk about a few powerful SATS scenes you can borrow and adapt. The call received, you hear someone say, "We've reviewed your application. Congratulations, you're hired." You feel your heart leap, the gratitude rush in. The message arrived. You pick up your phone and read a message that says, "I've been thinking about you. I want to make this right." You feel relief, forgiveness, joy. The door opened. You walk into your dream apartment for the first time. You touch the walls, breathe the air, and say, "I'm home." You feel peace, completion, a knowing. These are not affirmations, they're emotional blueprints, and they're effective because the subconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in emotion, repetition, and identity. In SATS, you're not saying you will have. You're being the person who already has. Let me remind you of this. You don't have to convince the world. You only have to convince your subconscious. And SATS is the fastest way to do that, because you're reaching it at its most impressionable moment, just before sleep, when the door is open. Now, let's address a myth that keeps many people stuck. But what if I fall asleep too quickly? That's not a problem. It's a gift. If you fall asleep imagining your scene, even once, that's powerful. Even if you only loop it a few times, your subconscious absorbs the final feeling you carried into sleep. It's better to fall asleep imagining something beautiful than lie awake worrying about what's missing. Let's add one more tool to your SATS practice: scripting. This isn't journaling your desires. It's not wish lists. It's emotional rehearsal in writing. Each night before bed, write a single paragraph that captures your SATS scene in the present tense, infused with emotion. Example: "I can't believe it. I finally did it. I opened my inbox and saw the confirmation. The money's in. I just stared at the screen, grinning like an idiot. I feel so calm now. So safe. Everything changed." Now don't worry if it doesn't feel true at first. Your job isn't to force belief. Your job is to expose your subconscious to new emotional evidence. With repetition, belief becomes natural. With time, the emotional script becomes your identity. Here's what no one tells you. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you assume to be true about yourself. And SATS is how you change those assumptions without needing to fight the old ones. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending life is perfect. It's about shifting your core identity from within, in the moments where your inner world is most open, And when that inner shift happens, the external follows. Automatically, inevitably, organically. Still wondering how long it takes? Neville said, "Time is only a delay between the planting and the harvest." Some people manifest in hours, others in weeks. The speed is not your concern. The assumption is, if you persist in the assumption, night after night, the outcome is inevitable. You'll start to see bridge of incidents unfold, events, meetings, messages that move you in the direction of your imagined scene. And when it arrives, you'll feel that familiar chill. That moment where you whisper, "I've lived this before. I saw this. I felt this. It's here." That is the magic of SATS. You're not surprised by your success. You're simply remembering it. And now, you're ready for the next step. In the next section, I'll walk you through the audio SATS walkthrough, a simple guided practice you can listen to every night with precise timing and phrasing designed to help you slip into the state effortlessly. We'll also cover how to deal with resistance or doubts, what to do when your scene becomes too emotional, how to lock in the feeling during your waking hours, and how to use SATS not just for manifestation, but for deep healing and identity rewriting. But before we get there, if you haven't yet, download your SATS activation guide using the link below. It includes a printable scene builder, emotional scripting templates, and a step-by-step bedtime checklist. It's free, and it's going to help you turn this knowledge into a powerful, nightly transformation. And if this video is resonating, subscribe and comment below. What scene are you going to start with tonight? What's the one shift you're ready to claim? Not someday, but now? I read every comment, and someone else might need to see yours to believe in their own. Now, let's enter the heart of your transformation. You've understood the concept of SATS. You've learned how to build a scene. You've felt the power of drifting into the assumption of the wish fulfilled. But now comes something deeper, more intimate, more direct. This is where words give way to experience. Welcome to the SATS audio walkthrough. This isn't just a bedtime recording, it's a spiritual tool designed to guide your consciousness gently from waking thought into the fertile ground of the subconscious. And once there, we'll plant a very specific seed. The process is broken into 3 gentle waves. The descent, a calming series of breath and body awareness to slow your nervous system and soften your mental chatter. The drop-in. This is where we introduce your chosen scene, activating your imagination, senses, and feelings. The drift. A soothing repetition of your scene in a loop, timed with your breath, allowing you to fall asleep in the assumption. You can use headphones or just play it softly beside you as you settle in. Either way, let go of trying. Let the rhythm do the work. Close your eyes. Let your jaw soften. Let your shoulders melt. There's nothing you need to do, nothing to fix, nothing to chase. Tonight, you're simply remembering what's already yours. Imagine it now, the moment your wish is already fulfilled. Feel the warmth in your chest. Hear the words that confirm it. Let it loop, slowly, gently. This is more than soothing sounds. This is neurological reprogramming, emotional conditioning, spiritual alignment. Because when your body begins to sleep, your subconscious begins to awaken. And what you feed it in those final moments before the night takes you is what it will accept as truth. Now, if you've ever doubted whether this works, let me share a few stories. Not theories, not quotes. Real lives changed through SATS. Case 1. Jessica. $48,000 unexpected check. Jessica had been fighting with debt collectors for 3 years. Single mom, working 2 jobs, exhausted. She didn't believe in manifestation, but stumbled on SATS late one night, exactly like you're doing now. She built a simple scene, opening her mailbox and seeing a check inside, holding it, smiling, feeling safe. She looped that scene every night for just under 2 weeks, and then it happened. Her old employer had settled a class action lawsuit, and out of nowhere, a check arrived in the mail. $48,000. Was it magic? It was alignment. The world conformed to the state she'd entered and persisted in, even while she slept. Case 2. David. Healing after grief. David had lost his partner unexpectedly. The grief was unbearable. Nothing felt real. He couldn't sleep without medication. He didn't use SATS to get something. He used it to remember who he was. He created a scene where he stood in front of a mirror, months later, and simply whispered to himself, "You're okay now. You made it. You're whole." He didn't believe it at first, but night after night, he let that scene replay in his mind like a lullaby. The tears became less frequent. The mornings became easier. And one day, it wasn't just a scene anymore. It was his life. Case 3. Tanya. The love came back. Tanya's relationship had ended suddenly, leaving her confused, shattered. Everyone told her to move on. She didn't beg, didn't chase. She found SATS, and every night she played a scene, sitting on her couch, his arm around her, as he looked at her and simply said, "I never stopped loving you." That was all. One sentence, one feeling, one loop. 3 weeks later, he messaged her out of the blue. They met, they talked, and eventually he said, word for word, "I never stopped loving you." She didn't manifest him. She became the version of herself who was already loved, and the world responded. There is a hidden order behind your reality, but that order doesn't move when you beg. It doesn't shift when you worry. It doesn't respond to logic, struggle, or hustle. It responds to assumption, to the state you consistently inhabit. And SATS allows you to enter that state, not once, but nightly. So your entire reality is built upon it. You're not fighting your old story anymore. You're simply sleeping in a new one. And that story becomes your life. Now, as we move toward integrating this fully into your daily rhythm, you'll want to make SATS part of a system. That's what we'll cover in the next section. You'll learn how to build a 7-night SATS rotation. What to do when you wake up in doubt or fear. How to reinforce your SATS scene during the day without effort. The mirror scene technique for building inner confidence, and how to use SATS to rewrite old memories that still haunt your identity. Because this isn't just about getting a desire, it's about becoming the version of yourself who no longer doubts they're worthy of it. But first, if this has resonated with you in any way, tap the subscribe button now, because the next part of this series is the one most people never hear. Most stop at the idea of SATS. You're going deeper, into mastery. And while you're at it, comment below. What's your scene? What's the one thing you're ready to feel as already true? Let it out. Declare it. Your words may be the spark someone else needs to remember who they are. The real power of SATS lies in one profound truth. You don't have to wait for your life to change, to feel like it already has. And when you begin to feel as though your dream is already real, even for 5 seconds, you set forces into motion that no logic can explain. You shift timelines. You collapse delay. You become the version of yourself that reality must respond to. Let's now walk through the SATS identity method, the final piece of the puzzle. Because if you only use SATS to get individual desires, money, a partner, a job, that's wonderful. But if you want real, lasting transformation, if you want the world to reflect your new reality consistently, you must do one thing. Shift your self-concept. In SATS, you're not just imagining events. You're imagining yourself as the kind of person those events happen to, effortlessly, repeatedly, unavoidably. A loved person, a wealthy person, a magnetic, healthy, intuitive, joyful person. This means your SATS scene isn't just a moment of wish fulfillment. It's a portal into your new identity. So here's how to evolve your SATS scene into an identity sculptor. Choose a core self-image. Ask, what kind of person has what I want? Easily. Not what they do, but what they believe about themselves. Confident, chosen, abundant, free? Start there. Design your SATS scene. From identity, don't just imagine getting the house. Imagine the kind of inner peace that comes from always having what you need. Don't just imagine someone texting you. Imagine the feeling of being the one people can't stop thinking about. Infuse that identity into every loop. As the scene plays, ask yourself, how would I feel if this were just normal? Expected? Natural? That's the feeling that magnetizes. That's the feeling that reprograms. Because when the identity is locked in, the manifestations become side effects. Now I want to tell you something no one else will. You don't need more effort. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't even need faith in the traditional sense. You just need to let yourself fall asleep as the version of you that already has what you long for. That's it. No resistance, no proving, no earning. Just rest in the assumption. Let your dreams do the work. And the more you practice SATS, the more the outer world begins to whisper back, yes, yes, it's real. Yes, this is you now. Yes, we've been waiting for you to remember. So here's what you can do tonight. Find your scene. Just one. Feel it real, as though it's happening now. Let the emotion wrap around you like a warm blanket. And then, drift. That's it. Don't force results. Don't chase signs. Just trust the process that has never failed you, only waited on you. And now, it's your turn. Before you go, I want to ask you something very real. What is the one scene you're choosing to replay tonight? What reality are you finally ready to assume? Not in desperation, but in calm certainty. Drop it in the comments. This is your declaration. This is your energetic yes. When you speak it, you solidify it. And when others see it, it becomes a shared field of belief, a collective wave of possibilities activating at once. So write it, even if it's just, I am already chosen, or it's mine now, or he said he loves me, or I saw the number in the bank app, or she hugged me and said, you're healed. Whatever it is, give it form. Give it voice. Not for the algorithm, for you. Remember, the subconscious doesn't sleep. It listens, it watches, it absorbs. And tonight, it's waiting on you. Not to beg, not to hustle, but to reveal what you already know deep down. You are the cause. You are the source. You are the one you've been waiting for. So go now. Imagine gently. Feel deeply. Sleep in your new state. And when you wake up, watch as the world begins to rearrange itself to match your vision. Quietly, perfectly, without resistance. This isn't meditation. This isn't prayer. This is SATS, and it changes everything. Leave your scene in the comments below. Someone out there is waiting to believe again, and your story might be the spark they need. If this spoke to your soul, tap the like button. Subscribe for more SATS walkthroughs, identity-shifting scripts, and real-life success stories. We're not just building dreams here, we're becoming them. Together.